topic, right? This topic is trust the process, right? I want you guys to understand something, right? Trust is a verb. So it's not what you say, family. Trust is not what you say. It's what you do, right? That's how you show trust, right? And we have to trust ourselves because at the end of the day, we have to trust ourselves. Our trust level in ourselves, right? And our goals have to align at the same vibration. And let me, kind of break this down for you guys that don't understand, right? When one falls down, it all falls down, right? You guys need to understand something. We need to trust ourselves and we need to be grinding towards success like success is impossible not to achieve. Because I need you guys to really understand something for a second, right? So many people are not vibrating on the level that they should be to their goals. But why is that, family? Right? I want you guys to really think. Maybe you're not vibrating on the level that you might have been vibrating before in life or things like that, right? And I want you guys to really understand why that is. Because so many people nowadays, especially, they just don't trust themselves, right? It all starts from inner, right? Trust starts from the inside, not the outside, family. So I want you guys to understand something. We need to find that inner peace in ourselves to be able to grow to the next level of our lives, right? So with that being said, right, another thing that I want to go over, right, is, I really want you guys to think about something for a second, right? It's going to be hard and it's not going to happen overnight, right? That success just doesn't happen, but we got to trust the process because at the end of the day, the process is what makes us who we are, right? The process is something we do every single day to getting to the next step of our goals, right? So it's trusting the process every single day. No one rises on low expectations, right? We got to up those expectations. We got to up those levels of vibration in every level of our life. I'm not just talking about our goals. I'm talking about the way that we treat our relationships, family. I'm talking about the way we treat our parents. I'm talking about the way we treat our kids. I'm talking about the way we treat our aunties, our cousins, whoever, right? This is everything in your life. You guys need to be vibrating high in, right? At the end of the day, you guys really need to understand sometimes, right? We have to have those times where we just step away, right? Because a lot of people bring a lot of negativity into our lives, right? And it's not that negativity is necessarily a negative thing, right? Negativity is only negative if you let it get into your subconscious brain, family. So what I want you guys to understand before I, bring up the man of the hour is that you guys need to be understanding everything that is coming into your conscious mind, right? When you get those calls from your family talking about money problems, talking about relationship problems, this, that, and the third, sometimes you just got to hang the phone up. Right? Because we can't be letting those little things that are going on in our lives that won't matter in 1, 2, 3 years from now, right? But they might matter right now, right? So we got to let those things go, family. Because every time that we're holding on to those things, guess what? They're just dragging us down, family. We're the sum of the 5 people we hang around. So we need to understand as entrepreneurs, investors, rappers, performers, whatever you guys are on this call, right? I need you guys to really understand that we need to be vibrating at a high vibration in every level of our lives, right? We need to trust the process, right? The process is not going to be easy, like I said, family. This might take 10 years. But I really want you guys to think about something for a second, right? If it took you 10 years to get to success, right? Or whatever you consider success, because success to every single person is different, family. I want you guys to understand that. Success to every single person is different, right? Some people might think $1 million is success. Some people might think 100 million. Some people might not even have a number amount. It might be connections, right? Because you guys need to understand something, right? Success is different to every single person. So I need you guys to write down on your notepads right now, right? What do you guys want to become successful? Like, what do you guys want to be known for? And why do you guys want to be known for it? Because we need to understand every single day that we're not getting closer to our goals, right? I want you guys to understand something. Success is laid brick by brick, step by step, day by day, right? God does not give you the reward for the work you pretend to put in, family. He's giving you the reward for the work you really put in, right? And I'm not trying to become biblical on this call. I believe in God, right? Think about it as a universe if you guys don't believe in God, right? I don't want to be getting biblical on this call. But what I want you guys to really understand is the fact that so many people let these little things that are getting in their life, these conversations with their family, their friends, their relationships, get in the way of their success, right? I want you guys to understand something, right? I'm a kid that came from Southside Tucson, right? I'm a kid that never had anything really going for me, right? But what did I have that a lot of people just don't have? And that's burning desire. You guys need to have burning desire in every aspect of your life, because desire is not something that we're born with. Desire is something that is built. It is something that brews inside of you. You have to get sick and tired of being sick and tired until you change, right? One of my mentors told me one time, right? When the pain of staying the same outweighs the pain of change, that's when you change, right? So I want you guys to understand how important that is, because so many people they let that go over their head, right? They're sick and tired of being sick and tired, but yet they're not changing the situation. They're not changing the circumstances, putting themselves in different environments, putting themselves in different communities that are going to be conducive to their growth. Right? They're putting themselves in the same communities, that are putting them in the same places that they've been since they were in high school, since they were in middle school, since before they could even work a job. Right? Why is that? Because their standard was the standard that their family put onto them. Right? But sometimes, like myself, I didn't have somebody to set a standard in my life. Right? My family never made over 40K a year. So I really need you guys to understand something before I bring up the man of the hour, because he just joined, family. But I really need you guys to understand this, right? We need to stop limiting our beliefs, and we need to upgrade our mindset to upgrade our income. Right? But with that being said, I want to bring up somebody very, very special to me. This man, I've honestly been studying this man for about the past 2 weeks heavy, but I've really been studying this man for, the last 6 months, really seeing how this man grows, how he develops himself, took himself to the next level in the industry of entrepreneurship and investing, family. So with that being said, if you guys didn't listen to anything that I just said on this call, right, I really want you guys to listen to this man, because I promise you guys, the information this man can give you guys can truly change your situation, can truly put you guys into a new place that you guys want to be in life, right? But with that being said, Joey, how are you doing, family?
What's going on, my brother? Everything's good. Thank you for the invite, man. Just
Bro, I appreciate
just got here off of I was watching the Heat game. I just got
it.
home. Well, I'm getting home right now, but I have to hop on here. I gave you my word I was gonna come on here, talk my shit, and I'm here,
Mm-hmm.
man. What's good with the
For
people? What's everybody? How's everybody doing? I hope everybody's having a beautiful day. And I just want to come on here, just shed some light on some things that have helped me get to the next level, right? I know some of us, we're looking for a path to success, right? And sometimes within that path, we're going to find, struggles, or we're going to find, hurdles, and we're going to find people that, don't support our dreams and goals. And it's okay, right? It's okay, because we all have to go through adversity in order for us to make it to the good side. We
mm,
all have to go through adversity in order for us to look back and say, damn, that was all worth it, right? Every single time that I could actually come through or come in front of adversity in my life, has actually made me a better, stronger person.
mm,
And it's actually made me the man that I am right now.
mm-hmm,
It's pushed me forward, it's propelled me forward, and I'm super glad that I never gave up in anything that I actually intended to do, because it just my story wouldn't have been heard as is
mm-hmm,
being heard right now across the world. So it's a beautiful thing. I know some of you guys probably don't know me. My name is Joey Pimentel. I'm a TVX educator within I Am Mastery Academy, and it took 2.5 years for me to actually become. Well, it took 2 years for me actually to become an educator within this platform. And the only reason why is because I just fell in love with, I fell in love with the process of discovering a new skill set that could help me change my life, right? And then I fell in love with that process so much that I wanted to recreate it in others, right? So, you know, just by practicing, putting time in, putting time in, I started seeing the results. When people didn't believe, I still believed, right? People ask me all the time, what's the best thing I could do? What if you had to actually start over from the get? What would you do better? What would you do different, right? And the only thing I would tell them is I would believe much faster, much sooner.
mm-hmm,
Believe much faster, much sooner. Believe that it can happen to you. Don't, we all celebrate all these individuals that we idolize, right? I just came from a basketball game. I was sitting very close to the court side, and I saw so many famous people sitting there court side, and I'm like, we idolize these individuals because what they've done, but that same we don't take that same energy when it comes to our goals and dreams, right? Now, I'm gonna tell you something that was told to me a long time ago, right? we all have goals and dreams, right?
Mm.
And most of us, we think of dreams when we're actually sleeping, right? We think those are our dreams, those are our goals, those are the things that we desire, right? But I'm gonna break it to you, right? Your dreams don't come true when you sleep, and your dreams come true when you open your eyes, when reality hits, right? Your
Mm.
dreams come true when you open your eyes. That way you actually have the chance to actually go and get the things that you want, right? You have to go and put the effort into it. You have to go and, sacrifice and pay the price of success, because success has a price. I say it all the time. I have actually a training that I speak about that, right? Success has a price. It never goes on sale, right? You got to pay what it costs. And if you don't pay what it costs, somebody else in your family will have to pay for that cost of that success, right? You want to be massively successful, you have to give up some things. You have to be deliberate, very deliberate on what you want to accomplish in life, right? You have to have goals that have terms. What I mean by that, just don't have goals that don't have a term to it, right? Or attached to it. I personally have 30-day goals, 60-day goals, 90-day goals, 12-month goals, right? 24-month goals, right? Because that gives me a panorama, it gives me a vision board of where my life is headed, right? It
Mm.
gives me a playing field that I can look at and say, look, in 6 months, I have to accomplish this in order for me to move on to the next things or the next stages of my life, right? A lot
Mm.
of us, we also, we also tend to believe others much more than we believe ourselves and our dreams and goals, right? But I actually like to ask people all the time, right? If you are willing to bet your life on what somebody else's belief, are you willing to give up your life to live their reality? You got to ask yourself these questions, right? I just came off, of an amazing tour worldwide. I went through 4 different continents in less than a month, and I was able to experience different cultures and different people and you know, different places. And the people from different places, they all want to be successful in some way, some form, right? And I went to a training this week in New York City, and I did a little exercise with the people, and they were just mind blown by the things that I asked them to do. And that's like, I did a training in where, I asked everybody to take out their cell phone, right, and look at, for the last 2 days, the people that they actually called and texted. Take a close look at those people, right, and ask themselves, are those people deposits into your life, or their withdrawals out of your life?
Mm.
Right? And when I said that, people thought I was thinking about money. I was talking money. And I wasn't talking money. I was talking relationships. When you go through your phone book, when you go through the people that you actually text, when you call every day, right? The people that you're in contact 24/7, are those people depositing wealth in your life, or they're taking away the wealth that you're looking for in your life, right? Are they taking away from your dreams and goals, or are they feeding those dreams and goals, right? Because some of us, and I was at one point, this was a thing for me. Like, at one point, this was a major thing for me, and I didn't realize it up until, not too long ago, where I was like, yo, you know what? Some of these people are not adding to the equation, and they gotta go. You know what I'm saying? If you're a withdrawal, if you go to your bank account, you keep withdrawing, eventually you're gonna find yourself what? Overdrawn. So look at your phone for the last 2 days. The people that you've spoke to, texted with, are those people deposits into your life, or are they withdrawals in your life? Because some of you guys are withdrawn. Some of you guys are overdrafted, and I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about your relationships. I'm talking about these relationships that are one-sided, and it's not your way, it's their way, right? It's
Mm.
not your way, and you have to realize that sometimes when people don't add to the equation, if they're not adding to the equation, they're taking away,
Mm.
right? They're taken away, and they're not. They like, they might say they want you to succeed, but deep inside they don't really want you to succeed. Have you ever heard the saying, "People want you to win, but they don't want you to win more than them"?
Facts.
That's a thing that's a thing that happens every single day, right? That's why life is a constant battle, not only against yourself and the things that you desire and you want, but against the people that don't want to see you succeed, right?
Mm.
People envy the people that are winning. That's why, you know, you get somebody like Michael Jordan, like LeBron James, right? They win so much that people can resemble, can assimilate that they're such winners that they can't seem to lose, right? So guess what? They, instead of supporting the winning, instead of supporting the positive, they go and find something negative to say about a winning person.
Mm.
It's reality. It happens in all walks of life. It happens to the best of us. And sometimes we just get hung up on that and we can't seem to get past that. But once you understand who you are as a person, what you want out of life, what are you willing to give up and put on the table, right? In order to accomplish those dreams and goals, you'll start seeing these changes in your life. You'll start seeing that your life will turn to a better place. You'll start seeing the people that you desire to have in your life will start coming into your life much, much faster, much sooner. They'll start coming in. They'll start pouring in from all walks of life. I see my brother Drake's on the check-in here. Drake is a kid that I love, right? Shout outs to Drake's Chairman 10 within the I Am Mastery Academy. I think he's a Chairman 10, like he's actually a Chairman 750 on the Chairman 10 rank right now. It's literally on a pit stop, right? Every time I sit and talk to him, I see a lot of me and him, and that's why I like the relationship that him and I have, because he just speaks with passion, right? He speaks with certainty. When you hear him say things, and I'm like, I listen to the kid, and I'm like, oh man, this is somebody that's determined to get what he wants, knows how to get it, and it's gonna stop by no means, right, to get those things that he desires. Right?
Mm.
So it's a beautiful thing when you can see somebody that's younger than you that has that type of ferocity inside of them,
Mm-hmm.
because that's what it takes to be a success within any industry. I'm not talking about just trading. I'm not talking about, any business. I'm talking about in general, right? We get paid based on conflict, and a lot of people have not understood that. The amount of money that you want to get paid is there already. The money has been made. The money has been already produced, but your ability to deal with conflict has not been matched yet. Right? The CEO of a Fortune 500 company, guess what he gets paid? Because he's able to operate at a high level with conflict. And the janitor at that same Fortune 500 company doesn't get paid what the CEO gets paid, because he's not able to operate at the same type of level. Right?
Mm.
So the higher the check, the bigger the conflict. The bigger the conflict, that means the more troubles, the more fires you have to put out, right? And still make things work. And that's what a lot of us don't assimilate. A lot of us don't understand that it takes a certain individual, right? We all see the good side of success. We see, like, shout outs Fads. I see Fads on here. We see the Fads. We see, the Jason Browns, the Matt Rosas. We see, the Nes Quest, Millie Mills, all these amazing individuals. We see their good side, the side where they're getting praised and, they're getting loved by the people, but we don't see the bad side. We don't see, like, the dark side of success. We don't see when they were not successful. Nobody knew them. Nobody knew what they were doing to get that success. Nobody knew what they were sacrificing to get that success. And that's the beauty of it, right? One of my favorite rappers is J. Cole. I listen to rap a lot because I like to analyze the lyrics. And J. Cole said in one of his lyrics, he said, there's beauty in the struggle. When you look back and all the struggles that you've been through, and you will understand that and you realize that makes you who you are. It makes you who you are. It makes part of your DNA. Then you start to realize and start to figure out yourself. And once you figure out yourself, you can start to figure out other people.
Yo,
Right?
that's
You can't help somebody else if you're not helping yourself. That's why personal development is key.
mm.
Right? You can't have a massive bank account and not have a massive wealth of knowledge, because what are you going to do with that money when you get it? Money comes with responsibility. Success comes with responsibility, right? We all want to get praised by all these people and loved by all these people. We want to just we want to get the accolades of success, but we're not willing to work for that success. We're not willing to put the time and effort to it. And that's the thing. The society that we live in right now, it sometimes it forces us to actually act that way, and sometimes it forces us to see life as a one-way route, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where We're only supposed to walk into success and not have to deal with any battles or any struggles. And that the reality of is, it's like, we have an expectation of what success looks like and
Mm-hmm.
a route that we're going to take to success, but it's going to be nothing like it, right? There's going to be zigzags, there's going to be curves, there's going to be, different things that happen along the way. Now, how you react to those struggles and those hurdles is, how good of a individual you'll become, and eventually, right, when you look back and say, "Damn, I went through all of this just to get this, and I'm willing to give that much more to get to my next goal." Then, only then, you can realize who you really are and what you can do for others. Because if you can't do that for yourself, you can't help nobody else. You can't change nobody else, right? So, realize and have a conversation with yourself. I have these conversations every so often, kind of like a checks and balances, right? Sometimes we live too fast, right? I read I didn't read it. I actually listened to. I like TD Jakes a lot, and because I think he speaks the real. He speaks the facts, that people need to. And TD Jakes said one time that sometimes our mind is light years ahead of what our body can actually can attest to, can actually comprehend, right? Sometimes our mind is so far beyond than what we actually should be at personally, right? In the flesh, right? And
Mm-hmm.
we don't know how to deal with that. We don't know how to deal with those conflicts, with those situations. And sometimes we have to take a step back to take 10, 12, 2 steps forward, right? We all want to be successful. There's not a single person in this world that, even if you're the most successful person, you want to go to the next level of success. I guarantee you that. Because I
Mm-hmm.
know for a fact the person that doesn't have $1 million is trying to make $1 million. But once you get to $1 million, you want to turn that million into two. And that two, you want to turn it into five. And that five into 10. And that 10 into 20. 20 into 100. 100 into $1 billion. Right? And the person that has 1 billion wants to get 20 billion and 50 billion. And that's the way that we actually operate. Right? But
Mm-hmm.
every single level of that journey has a price that we have to pay.
Mm-hmm.
Every single level has a price. Every single level has another devil, right? Every level has another devil. And it's sometimes, well, not sometimes, all the time is bigger than the previous one,
Mm-hmm.
right? So we just got to come to realization we want out of life and what are we, right? Building this business, doing the things that I actually have been able to do, um, to get the type of success that I currently have. I'm not at my end all be all right now, but, you know, I've made a lot of sacrifices. One of those sacrifices bit me in the behind, in the butt, in January 17th of 2022. I got a call. They told me my grandmother was actually doing really bad. She had to be admitted into the doctor's office, the emergency room. And I was like, at that moment, I like my life with my grandmother flashed upon my eyes. Like every single moment of good, bad, and ugly just came right through my eyes because I knew that she didn't have that much time to live, right? And at
Mm-hmm.
that time, I realized that I focused so much on chasing success that sometimes I wouldn't even respond to her calls, right? And sometimes that was a sacrifice I was paying, right? In order for me to have what I needed, right? In order for her to have the last few years of her life to be beautiful and not have any struggles or anything like that, I had to pay a certain sacrifice and not being present, not being there, not picking up phone calls because I was on flights or because I was in another country and I was, dealing with a call. I was doing another, launch, or I was doing a trading call, you know. But I knew that that price that I paid also gave me a lot of happiness because she had everything she needed. When she asked me for anything, I was there. It was kind of like, yes, I wasn't present when I was chasing the success, but once I got it, I was able to pay back
Mm-hmm.
with love and the things that she wanted. And it's a beautiful thing, man. It's just like we get so caught up and we give so much life to what others think that we forget that we are the magic,
Mm-hmm.
right? We forget that we have the sauce. Every single person, every single soldier, every single God's child in this earth has what it takes to be successful. The only difference is that not every single person is willing to pay the price. to the success, right? Not
Yeah.
every single person is willing to pay that price. Not every single person is willing to leave it all on the line. Not every single person will do the things that it takes, right? They're gonna say things like, I'm not special and I'm not the chosen one. You know, Joey is better than me. This person is better than me. And at the end of the day, man, like I'm no better than anybody. I'm just a regular kid out of New York City with a regular ambition, right? A regular dreams, and I just have more umph inside of me than most people, right? When people tell me no, motivates me to go harder. When people tell me I can't do something, that's when I know I should be able to do that,
Hmm.
right? When they tell me don't go this way, that's where I want to go because I want to go against what other people tell me, right? I want to create my own lane. I want to be the person that is looked at not for the things that I wear, the clothes that I have, the jewelry that I have, the likes of the flights and the cars and none of that,
Hmm.
right? I want to be remembered by how many lives I touched, what I did for people while I was here, what type of impact I had on people. Because the more people I help, I know that the more blessings I'll get in my life.
Bro,
Right.
that's
So
beautiful.
that's my way of thinking. That's how everybody should think. I know we're some way, somehow we're in different journeys or stages of our journey.
Hmm.
But at the end of the day, man, look, think about it like this. When you take a flight from point A to point B, you never decide or you never think in the middle of the flight to jump off the flight. Right? So if you decided to go from point A and point B in your life, remember, right? You might be in the middle of that journey. It's not the time to give up, right? It's not the time to give up, right? When you actually give up, it's never. You actually have to go and accomplish what it is that you said you was gonna do. Because people don't follow people that say what they're gonna do. People follow people that actually do those things that they said they was gonna do, right? And you got to remember this: we always ask yourself, why is it that when we die, right, in our grave, in our gravesite, there's a birthday, right, the day that we were birthed, and there's a death date, and in between there's a dash, right? You
Hmm.
got to ask yourself, what does that dash mean? What does that dash mean? And the reality is that dash is what you did from the day that you were born to the day that you died. What type of impact you had in people's lives? What type of impact you had in this world? Right? What it is that you did when you was here, so people don't forget your name. They actually remember your name, right? Because just because you die doesn't mean you die, right? Some people die twice. They die when they die, and they die when nobody remembers them. But there's people that live forever, right? There's people that die and we still remember them because they have such an impact in this world that we can't forget. We can't seem to forget them. Some way, somehow, they still come up to us. They still they're engraved in our heads, and that's the type of impact that I want to create around the world with the things that I do. And it might sound crazy. It might sound like, oh, this guy, just wants to be, self-absorbed. And no, at the end of the day, no, I'm doing this not for me. I'm doing this for others, man. I don't want to be in just most people die as a statistic, right? Most people die not accomplishing anything, not doing anything impactful in life, not following their dreams, right? They die average. I don't ever, the biggest slap in my mother's face is for me to die average. Because I know what she gave birth, when she gave birth to me, she gave birth to a king. So that's my 2 cents and the success or what it takes to have success in the world. Um, and everybody's journey is going to be different. I'll tell you this, guys, don't try to compare yourself to other people's success or other people's routes, right? Um, everybody's journey is going to be different, man. Everybody's journeys want to be 100% different. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter if it takes you a year, 2 years, 3 years, 100 years to get success. What matters is that you actually get it, right? Nobody remembers second place. Everybody remembers the first place, right? Everybody remembers the winners, right? So ask yourself, how I used to ask myself, right? If I surround myself with winners, how can I lose?
Mm.
You can't lose. If you surround yourself with winners, you might be the biggest loser in this world, but you can't seem to lose. That's why you have some bum players that play in some great teams and make some greater players. You ever notice that? Right? There's people in this world that can actually have a positive effect in other people and uplift their level of success, uplift the level of playing the game or whatever it is that they're actually accomplishing. Right?
Mhm.
That's why you have a LeBron James or Michael Jordan that can make anybody great in the court, right? Because their level of understanding for the game and their level of passion and actually drive and effort that they put into it, right, is transferred to other people on that court. I could play with LeBron James and all of a sudden I'm the greatest player ever. Why? Because that man is facilitated, sees the game in a different way, and it puts me in an environment that I actually have to force myself to view the game how he views the game. Otherwise, I won't be able to keep up. Right? So, you know, that's my 2 cents on success. I know that this call is about, you know, it's about the journey of success for people, and it's called Motivational Mondays for sure. For a reason. I don't like to motivate people because it's easier to to raise a newborn baby than to revive somebody that's actually dying.
Mm.
Right? So there's people that are gonna follow you up until they can't follow you any longer. Right? And remember, the people that start out with you might not finish with you. As long as you finish, that's all that fucking matters.
Mm.
Right? As long as you accomplish the things that you said you was gonna accomplish, that's all that fucking matters. So, you got to think about, yes, this is for the people, this is for the ones that I love, but there's gonna be people that join you that can only take you to a certain place in that journey. And when they can't take you any longer, they're gonna disappear from your life. They're gonna go and do their thing, and you have to keep on going, because if you don't keep on going, you're failing those people that are waiting for you to make it. Everybody has a story, and everybody's story should be heard, but some people's stories fail to be heard. Why? Because they give up. The only reason from the person that actually tells a story, like you're listening to my story and what I believe in right now, is because I never gave up. In those moments that things got, super tough, I never gave up. And I have a very good life right now, and I still go through shit. I'm going through shit right now. Everybody is. I'm not exempt for being, because I'm a successful individual. I'm not exempt from troubles. I'm not exempt from, the struggles of life. I'm not exempt from the life hurdles, and I'm not exempt from the curveballs that life throws at us by any means. Actually, if anything, because I'm chasing a higher level of success, I tend to find things that are actually bigger than most people's, because I'm at a further chapter in my journey than most people. Right? So think about those things that I mentioned and how you're special. Everybody's special in every in any way, shape, or form, man. I don't think anybody is less than anybody. I think that the right person with the right mindset, right, behind them, can be unstoppable. You could do anything you want. You could accomplish anything you want. And it all starts with that thought, right? Because success is actually a thought. It's not a handbook that I can give you and say, yo, follow this and you're gonna be successful. It's a thought. It's a decision that you have to make to yourself, right? And once you make that decision, you say, yo, I'm going to be successful by all means, and you commit to that success, there's nobody and nothing that can come in between you and success.
Mm.
There's nothing, absolutely nothing, that can come between you and success, right? And that's pretty much my 2 cents on the definition of success, or what it takes to be a successful individual. Now, I just want to bounce some ideas up for you. I know that you had some questions for me when we met. And I think that you're a very good individual, and I'm here just to give my knowledge to the people. But if you have any questions for me, my brother, I'm here
Perfect.
to answer those questions.
You already know, family. First of all, I just appreciate you for giving that value right there, because I feel like that really painted the picture for a lot of people on this call, right? But I'm gonna ask you a few little questions. I honestly feel like just need to be talked about, and especially this society and this generation. And I've seen it a lot, especially in our industry, right? And my question is, I saw this speech that you did about patience, right? And I feel like this is so powerful, but many people think success is an overnight process, right? But my question is, what is the power of patience to you? And what would you say to the people that believe, they're looking to be an overnight success?
There's no such thing as overnight success. And those people that you think are overnight success, there's probably tens of years of struggles that they actually have to overcome in order for them to become an overnight success per se.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So we actually didn't see it, right? I was actually just at the basketball game right now, and there's this super famous reggaeton artist. His name is Ozuna, right? He's actually on like Fast and the Furious now. He's super, super, super successful. Um, and he became an overnight success with a song that actually got super famous over like no time, right? But people failed to realize that before he actually had that song, he had been making music for about 10 years and nobody knew his name, right? So there's no such thing as an overnight success.
Mm-hmm.
What there is that we actually find out about these people overnight, but they've been working over time, right? Success comes over time. It doesn't come overnight. That's why the society that we live in forces us to have that short-term mentality, which I call microwave mentality, right?
Mm-hmm.
Microwave results. You want to have things done right away. You see other people you see other people's success and you want that for you, but you're not willing to pay the price that they actually decided to pay, right? So in my definition of life, there's no such thing as an overnight success. Obviously, it takes patience, it takes dedication, it takes ferocity, it takes, anything you could think of, right, that makes a person strong. It takes, what it takes? The word is resiliency. You have to be resilient. Kind of like a kid when they're learning how to walk, right? And they fall and they just look up and to see what people are going to say or do, and they just have to get back up and they actually want to keep on learning how to walk. And then you go from walking to running, right, to sprinting. But you can't sprint. You can't start out sprinting. You have to actually go through the stages.
Mm-hmm. Okay, perfect. That's honestly a really good definition. And I feel like a lot of people, they don't understand it. Like you said, a lot of people, they might see somebody become successful overnight per se, but like you said, they were making music for so many years and really putting in, grinding anything really, you know what I mean? It's the same thing with like, looking at people like Lonzo Ball, for example. He came into high school and people saw that one game where he dropped 97 points and he went to the league. But at the end of the day, right, he was grinding for years before he ever had that 96-point game. Right. So that's a very, very, powerful thing. That's why I wanted to ask that question, and, my next question. Right. And I feel like this is a personal question. It's going to help a lot of people on this call. Right. And, they say you have to give up to go up. Right. What did Joey have to give up, or what did Joey have to sacrifice that took you to who you are today? And how hard was that decision?
I had to sacrifice a lot, man. I actually spoke about this on my training that actually you saw. Um, when I first started out, or when I first became a thought that I actually wanted to come into this world uh, that I'm in right now, in the trading world, in the business world, and I had a girlfriend at the time, and she was actually the first person I showed this business to, because I thought that I was so emphatic, I was so like enthusiastic about this business that I thought that showing her this would bring us closer together, right? And she never really, like, she supported her, but she never really supported her like that. And at that point, I realized that if I wanted to be successful, sometimes we have to give up generational relationships and friendships in order for us to get generational wealth, right? Some of us, or most of us, we want generational wealth, but we're not willing to give up these bad generational and friendships and relationships, toxic relationships that are holding us back, right? I went to church one day and I really understood that this day, right? The pastor was sitting, or was standing on a stage, right? And he asked somebody from the front to come up right below the stage and reach for his hand, right? And the illustration of it if you could actually picture it, the pastor is reaching down to try to bring the person up to the stage, and that person is actually weighing the pastor down. And at that point, I understood that it's much easier for for somebody to drag you through the mud, right, to bring you down to their reality, than for you to uplift somebody to your level, right? So you're gonna have to give up relationships. You're gonna have to give up friendships. You're gonna have to give up your hobbies. You're gonna have to give up things that are not putting you in a successful situation in order to become successful.
Hmm. Okay, that's powerful. 'Cause, I mean, I feel like even in my life, I feel like I've seen so many people just not want to sacrifice something they know isn't right for them. In my case, I definitely had a couple toxic relationships in my life where, I wasn't really, able to be at my full potential because somebody, like you said, it's a much easier for somebody to drag you down. They say you are the sum of the five people you hang around. And if you're hanging around, five people that are just dragging you down, it's much easier for them to drag you down than pull you up, like you said. So, that's very powerful. And I feel like, a lot of people definitely needed to hear that. I actually have one last question for you, and then, we can open up maybe a little like 1-2 question Q&A and then end it off. I do want to respect your time, but, this has been an amazing call. I just wanted to let you know that, right? But, my last question, you know what I mean? And I ask this to a lot of successful people. And the reason I ask this question is because, I'm 19 years old personally, right? I know a lot of people on this call are younger. I come from very humbling beginnings. And I want to know, right, what would be your words of advice you would give 18-year-old Joey, and why?
18-year-old Joey, put your ego to the side, listen to the people that have done it and that are actively doing it, and believe much faster, much sooner. Those
Mm,
three things, right?
okay.
When I was young, on my not on my 18 years old, but at 20 years old, I made my first $100,000 working a job. I was making more money than most of my older friends. I was hanging around 24, 25 year olds, and I was only 20, and I had more money than them, and I could do things that they couldn't do. So I had very egocentric moments to myself, thinking that I had the world, by the horns, grabbed by the horns. And sometimes, we fall victims to that, but sometimes you got to go back and put your feet on the ground and realize who you are, and that money doesn't make you. And one thing I would tell you guys is this, right? Money, people say money changes people, and that's not true. Money just amplifies what people are prior to the money, right? If you're a good person prior to the money, you're going to be an even better person when you get big money. If you're an arrogant person, if you're a bad person with bad qualities, you're going to be that much bigger of a bad person, that much bigger of an arrogant person when you get big money, right? So if I was to have a comment, you ever seen that LeBron James commercial where he's talking to his younger version right before he went
Oh,
to the draft, right?
yeah.
If I was to have that moment with myself, I wouldn't warn myself. I would just tell myself, right? Or hint myself what I needed to do, but I wouldn't give myself the exact formula, because I believe everything that I went through made me who I am today. And it took, years for me to become who I am today. And I had to go through every single challenge in order for me to accomplish what I have accomplished so far and what I have left to accomplish. Right. So I wouldn't like change anything as far as the journey. I would just want to have or see what it could be if I was a better student of the game, right? If I could listen more to the people that were actively doing it or showing me the blueprint, right? And if I had less of an ego when I was younger, right? And if I believe more in myself, right? Because sometimes others, other people believe more in you than you believe in yourself, and that's a big flaw, right? I would just want to see what that version of Joey would have looked like and what he would have done rather than this version of Joey.
Hmm. That's powerful. I'm not even gonna lie. A lot of people, I wasn't even expecting that answer, to be honest. But it's one of those things that's so powerful, and that's why I can really tell how personally developed you are as a person. Because like you said, you're not even going to give yourself the formula. You're just going to give yourself those key things to be able to really, see what you would have became knowing those things. Because, I know you came from, New York. I came from Tucson, Arizona, a border city of Mexico. So we both came from very rugged places. And at the end of the day,
Mhm.
when you come from rugged, backgrounds and whatever, you don't have a lot of hope in life. And that's one thing that I can say, me and you very much relate with is we had hope. Because, even, I'll just get transparent on this call. Even when I was looking at time in prison, right? I had, once I realized that my life wasn't over anymore, I had hope for the future. I realized
Right.
God gave me another, another step that I could take to go to the next level of my life. Because I really did think it was over at one point. So I feel like so many people, they would say, once they become successful, they'd go back and they would give themselves the blueprint so they could become more successful. But I feel like that's even more of a powerful answer because, like you said, you wouldn't have gone through any of the things that you had to go through. And sometimes those things do make you who you become. You know what I mean? Like I think about all the things that I went through that made me the speaker that I am today, that made me as confident as I am today, and things like that, right? And so many people don't have that type of mind state in life to really develop themselves and grow, right? But I do want to respect your time, family. Are you open to doing like one or two questions from the
Yeah,
chat?
yeah, 100%, bro. 100%.
Perfect. Perfect. All right, family. Drop some questions in the question box. We already got one question. Perfect. Right. Uh, okay. Perfect. So my man Von Fibonacci said, how do you instill more belief in yourself to get the job done? And then
That's a good question.
rephrase, what audios and books helped you get to this level?
But how do I instill more belief in myself? It's just going through the trials and tribulation of life and admiring the process, respecting the process, right, of it, whatever it is that you're doing, and understanding that there's always a higher level. No matter how successful you are, there's always a higher level. So you should push yourself to be a 1% better every single day. At the end of the year, if you do that consistently, you'll be 365% better. Um, believing is a tricky question, or it's a tricky thing, right? Believing that the person that believes that they can do something is the same person that believes that they cannot do something, right? The only thing that separates that belief level or those two situations is one decision in their head and their mindset, right? Believing is more of a mindset than it is an action, right? So if you if you have self doubt, you already lost half the battle, right? If you doubt that you could do it and somebody else can do it, or somebody else is actively doing it, you already shot yourself in the foot and you're not going to be able to run, right? So how do I still more believe in myself? I try to be better every single day, right? And by being better, I mean, being a better son, being a better brother, being a better, eventually when I become a father, being a better father, being a better, husband or boyfriend, and if you work on yourself enough, everything else will start playing itself out the way it's supposed to go. I don't know how to explain it to you, but sometimes we tend to think that the things that we want are so far beyond our reach, and they're really not, right? The only thing that's beyond our reach, right, is that thought that you think that is not accomplishable, right? But when you're thinking about it, somebody else is getting it done. It's plain and simple. While you're thinking about it, somebody else is doing the things they need to do in order to get it done. What audios I listen to? There's an audio that changed my life forever. It's called it's by Kevin Trudeau. It's called what's the name of it? Your Wish is Your Command. You can find it on YouTube. It's a 14-hour audiobook. And you can listen 1 hour a day for 14 days. Once you finish listen to it again, and you'll start listening to things that we know, that we pay no mind to. And if you start emphasizing and living your life to those perimeters in life, like to those categories of life, and the things that he says on there, Kevin Trudeau is an amazing individual. So Your Wish is Your Command is one of the audiobooks that literally changed my life. I don't really do books that much. I don't really love to. I don't enjoy to read. But the audiobooks You could read anything or listen to anything that you want, such as like, Think and Grow Rich is another book that I would recommend to somebody. Um, the Loss of Leadership, right, by John C. Maxwell. Um, there's so many other ones. Like if you want to really take trading seriously, you could listen. You could listen or read Trading in the Zone. It's going to give you perspective on how what it is that you should be focusing on while trading at a higher level. Building businesses, understanding yourself, man. Like Think and Grow Rich gave me perspective in my life. And like C. John, my brother C. John says, a lot of us, we have a rich parent and we have a poor parent. And our poor parents are regular parents, like the parents that gave us life, because they put limiting beliefs in our lives, right? Because when I came into this world, I knew I wasn't better than anybody, but I knew nobody was better than me. I never thought, I never crossed my mind, right? When I was a kid, I actually wanted to go to the major leagues. And I was good enough that I could make it, and I ended up getting injured. On my 16th birthday, somewhere right along my 16th birthday. So my mother, at times, she wouldn't like say that I wouldn't go to the league, but she would just put these limiting beliefs, or because she knew no better, right? But the little that when I was 16 years old, when I was turning 17 years old, I got offered two contracts to go and play for the Diamondbacks, and the Mets, and my ego took over me, and I decided not to take the contract because I was worth more. I thought I was worth more than what I got offered, right? So those are the things that made me who I am right now. If it wasn't for those episodes in my life, I probably wouldn't have the type of success that I have right now.
Mm, that's powerful. And alive, right? That is one of those things that, I mean, that just, you can really tell that you're, personally developed, and you're truly, you are humble to yourself, because you can really tell yourself that, and know that, like, you could have taken that ego, probably went somewhere, but at the end of the day, those limiting beliefs and that ego, right? I feel like a lot of people, especially males, for the males on this call, a lot of people have ego. They feel like, they're better than other people because they can get a better girl, or they can, make a little bit more money or whatever, right? When at the end of the day, that's
Mm-hmm.
with the type of person you really are. It's with the lives that you can impact and the people that you can truly help get to the next level. Because, I mean, one of these things that I really heard from John C. Maxwell that really, opened my mind state, even inside this company especially, was, he tells his employees to, to literally, work yourself out of a job. Teach somebody how to do that job better than you can do it, so they can do that job and you can get a different job, right? You got
Right.
to, like, that's true leadership. That's being able to help somebody grow and develop, and really take somebody to the next level. That's really powerful, right? Let me check these questions. I think we might have one more question, right? Okay, yes, we do have one more question. The last question is going to be from the man Eddie. He says, what's one of your favorite quotes, something that hits you every single day?
Quotes. I got a few, man. If I was to say a favorite quote, that's hard. So I feel like there's not a. It's like it's not a favorite. Um, you know, I think I mentioned it before. Believing that you can is just as powerful as believing that you can. Um, you know, the power of belief, right? The power of the mind is so powerful that we are what we think or we say, right? Sometimes we think of us as lesser than others, and therefore we don't have the success that others have because they think of themselves higher than us, right? And that's the only difference between a winner and a loser, right? You got to understand, a loser is just is I mean, a winner is just a loser that got tired of losing and decided to just put his best foot forward, right? So as far as quotes, I think quotes are redundant because I think people try to live by quotes, right, instead of getting to the nitty gritty things, right? Some people I see, it happens to used to happen to me. I used to put captions and crazy captions on my Instagram posts and stuff like that, but I wasn't really living those captions. I wasn't really doing things that I was actually talking about. And now I feel like sometimes we could get too like caught up in like what quote should I live by or not. Honestly, what you should live by is do the things that you say you were gonna do, and stop at nothing accomplishing whatever it is that you dream of and you believe in. Because at the end of the day, that's gonna make you or break you. It's gonna make you a better individual. It's gonna make you that person that you want to become ultimately, and give you that confidence and that level of success and admiration that most people wanna obtain.
That's powerful, bro. I appreciate you so much for really getting on this call and not just giving my team the sauce, but really just, impacting the masses. This is something that I'm gonna go post on YouTube and really, I hope this really impacts a lot of people, bro, because I feel like this impacted me so much. And like I said, the way that your tonality, the way that you break things down is just so different. That's why you were, literally the first speaker that I walked up to aside from C John at Super Saturday, because I just, when you were speaking, it was almost like you were speaking directly to me. And that's something that, like, a lot of speakers, especially, with, me personally developing every single day, a lot of people, they hit me, but it doesn't hit me like your speech did. I could feel the things that you went through. I could feel the trials and tribulations. I could see a lot of the same things that I'm going through in my life right now that you already had to overcome. So I appreciate you so much, Joey, for getting on this call and just, really putting us in proximity to this information, family. But do you have anything else to say before you get off this call?
I mean, the one last thought, that just came up to my mind, guys, is just, stop at nothing chasing the things that you really love. Kind of like, you said right now, right? I used to have doubt in myself. And back in the days, I used to say, can it be me? Can I be that chosen one? And until I understood that my story needed to be heard in order for for somebody like you to tell me, look, I needed to listen to your story to relate it to mine, because I was going through those things and those trials and those tribulations. And because you said what you said, I decided to not go through that struggle anymore, to decide to actually be better and become a better individual. Everybody's story should be heard, and it maybe will be heard, but it's up to you if you let it be heard or not, right? So stop at nothing chasing the things that you love. Stop at nothing, and don't pay attention to the naysayers. It doesn't matter how much success you have. There's somebody out there that doesn't believe on you accomplishing the next level. 100%, right? There's people right now that I come across. They're like, oh man, I love how you're living, but they're not willing to do the things that I've done to live the way I live. Simple, right? And at the end of the day, we all got to know this. And it's going to sound a little arrogant. It's going to sound a little crazy. But at the end of the day, we all need people to make our coffee in the morning when we walk into Starbucks. I need people to clean my shoes when my shoes get dirty. I need people to fold and, do my laundry, right? I need people to clean my house. I need people to wash my car. So business and having success is not for everybody, right? Or different levels of success are not for everybody, because these jobs got to get filled, and these people have to serve this very successful people, because the very successful people don't have time to do these normal things.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the day, you could either be average or you could be an exceptional leader, and a leader that people that admire and want to follow, right? Because of their actions, not their words, right? Be humble enough to know that it could happen to you, but be smart enough to know that you have to go and put that work and chase your dreams. The dreams are not going to come to you. They're not going to be handed to you. They're not going to drop in front of you. You have to be humble enough to know it can happen to you, and you have to be brave enough to go and chase it. That's pretty much what I got for you, family.
Bro, I appreciate you so much. Let's get some ones in the chat for the man, Joe. This was an absolutely powerful call. I hope, for the people that missed this call, they're gonna be left out on this one. I'm sorry, because this one was absolutely fire, bro. I appreciate you so much for the proximity, Joey. And I just really appreciate you getting on here and just, expanding not just my mindset, like I said, but the mindset of everybody on this call, really wanting to be that servantless leader. Because I know in no way I help you, growing your organization, but you wanted to get on this call just because you saw, the way that I came about things and asked you, to get on this call. So I really appreciate that, family, and just appreciate, everything you do for this academy. TBX gang, you already know. I can't wait for it to drop. I'm going to be on those sessions, family, and I appreciate you. All right, bro?
Let's go, man. Let's go. To the top we go. Let's go, man.
You already know. I'm going to see you guys at the top because the bottom is way too crowded. This will be on YouTube, family.